And veteran-owned contractor, available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
AR Roofing, never settle.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to What's on Your Mind, the start of another glorious week here in Fayette County. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. We have open conversation. Please give me a buzz. I want to chat with you. I want to hear from you. Number 724-438-4593. Again, 724-438-4593. Before we get to my list of possible topics, I want to remind you that What's on Your Mind is brought to you by AR Roofing and Remodeling, Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping, Madewell Services, Full Lawn Care and Cleaning, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Hicks and Baugh's Drugstore, and Gary's Auto Sales. All righty, so, all right, New York City. Mayor Zoran Mondami is wanting to do the, city-owned grocery stores, and he's budgeted $70 million for that. And just one store alone, I think in the Harlem area, it is going to take up about half of that, $30 million, to get that up and running. It's not even going to open until 2029. So anyway, the city's now being sued by an organization of, bodega owners, of mom and pop grocery stores, that type of thing, saying, hey, this is going to put us out of business. You're going to put them in buildings that are tax-free, not going to have to pay any real estate taxes because it's going to be city run. Of course, you're going to be able to offer goods at 30% below normal cost. You're going to put us out of business. So as a result, now the administration denies this. They're trying to walk it back, saying no, they're not going to do it. But they are talking about grants and other special things for these private grocery store owners so they can compete better. So here it is, the taxpayers of New York City, one, they're going to have to pay for these city-owned grocery stores through taxes. And now, because these city-owned grocery stores will put individual grocery stores out of business, well, now they got to pay for grants and other special programs to help them. So they're going to get it on both ends. Isn't socialism so wonderful? Okay. Scott Bessent, Secretary Treasurer. Actually, he's probably in the middle of his press coverage right now about his economic D-Day concerning Iran, another step to strangle the country economically. This is the country is already reeling apparently with super high inflation. Goods are becoming more and more scarce. They haven't been able to sell any of their oil for quite some time, which was a big income generator for that regime. But part of this economic D-Day is the U.S. will put sanctions on any country, regardless of allied status with the U.S., any country that continues to trade with Iran. So we'll see what happens on that. In another trade agreement, the trade agreement with Canada blew up over the weekend. So tariffs of up to 50% on Canadian goods are going into effect today, so we can chat about that. Also, Alaska, the state of Alaska, is going through some political turmoil. It might be too strong of a word, actually. So, Alaska last week had their primary, and on it is Senator Dan S. Sullivan, and the middle initial here becomes important. Senator Dan S. Sullivan is up for re-election. So in Alaska, they have a open primary. So everybody's Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever, is all on the same ballot. The top 4 vote getters go to the general election in November. And that winner is determined by ranked voting. So, best way to, I guess, describe ranked voting is you list your preferred candidates in order 1, 2, 3, 4. If whichever one of your candidates then actually comes in last place in the initial counting. Okay, so let's say, your number 1 choice ends up getting the least amount of votes. Okay, or even your number 2 gets the least amount of votes. They get knocked off. And so then those votes, or your vote then, gets transferred to the next one on your list until you come up with the number 1 vote getter, and that's the winner. Well, current Senator Dan S. Sullivan, he made the cut. He was the number 1 vote getter in the primary. Dan J. Sullivan was also running for office as a Republican. Now, the Republican Party in Alaska questions that because, well, his campaign advisors are all Democrats. He used to be a Democrat. And so the Alaska Republican Party says he's just in there to try and siphon votes away from the current senator, steering it towards the Democrat, who is a sitting U.S. representative for Alaska. So you have 2 Dan Sullivans on the ballot, separated only by their middle initial. Now, to make things a little more complicated, the former mayor of Anchorage, Alaska, has just thrown his weight and endorsed Dan S. Sullivan, the incumbent. The former mayor's name, Dan J. Sullivan. So, a little confusing up in Alaska these days. Okay, all right, the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup is done, has been for over a month now. By all reports, it was a rousing success here in the United States. One thing that we saw a lot of, and I brought it up on this show as well, is the foreigners that came to this country to root on their their country's team in the World Cup. And they came from all over the world. Talking about how wonderful, how great, how beautiful, fantastic the United States is, how polite and heartwarming are the U.S. citizens, and say this is nothing. The United States is nothing like what our media back home was describing to us. Before coming over to the United States, we were told about how dangerous the United States was and how mean everybody is. And all of these fans from foreign countries just say that's not the case at all. Everybody was so nice, and the food is fantastic. And they were just in awe of places like Walmart and Costco and I don't know, on and on, restaurants with unlimited water refills, right? Well, so that's over with, but a new wave is starting. A new wave of online praises for the United States is starting. These same visitors are now back home and wishing they could be back in the United States. It wasn't until they came here and visited our beautiful country that they realized how bad theirs was. One woman who went back to Germany says, I didn't realize how rude Germans were until I came back. I want to go. I want to go back to the U.S. People begging Donald Trump online, please give me a green card. I want to come back. So the praises continue. Okay, what else? Well, we got Pirates. I was afraid of this. They lost 3 straight to the Dodgers. They're now, I think it's 6 games under 500. So any hopes of wild card contention are quickly falling. They take on the Padres starting tonight. I'll be happy if they win one in this series. So, yeah, things are falling apart for the Pirates, unfortunately. Little later than usual. I'll give them that. Hopefully this is something they can build on for next year, and I think they will. And then there's Steeler football. We can chat about that. The two and yeah, I know Will Howard's not a rookie. I'm still going to call him a rookie because he really didn't do anything. He didn't play last year. Didn't even see preseason time. So I'm calling him a rookie. So our 2 rookie quarterbacks who did so well last week, not so much so this week, this most recent game. So there's that. And then finally, the announcement, the big announcement. Oh, boy, as if we didn't know this was coming, right? The hillbilly. And by the way, in his Facebook announcement, he doesn't make reference to the hillbilly. So what? Is he trying to distance himself from that now since he's moving on to higher office? Anyway, the hillbilly, John Marietta, has announced for the 2027 commissioners race. I will say this, resign. Mr. Marietta, resign your office right now. You're running for a different office, not yours, not the one you currently hold. You're going for a different one. Resign. If you're so confident in your abilities to win the next election, resign. Don't run on my taxpayer money that gives you a paycheck every 2 weeks. Don't use this as don't use the recorder of deeds as a fallback position. Resign now and concentrate fully on your campaign for commissioner. Resign now. Because we know you're not going to go do your job in the recorder of deeds office anyway. From what I understand, you're hardly there anymore anyway as it is. So resign, John Marietta. Don't use my tax money. Don't use the tax money of every other person in Fayette County to live a lifestyle that you currently have so you can go for something that you deem to be bigger and better. resign. Do us all a favor. So your thoughts on that? I do have a break coming up, but before we do, let's get our first call of the afternoon, shall we? Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Mr. Rhodes, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Wonderful. Hey, question for you.
Yes.
I hear you railing against the socialists and them trying to get affordable food in New York City. How does that differ from Donald Trump's plan to import 300,000 metric tons of beef? That's a lot of cows. 300,000 metric tons of beef and sell it 25% below market prices. What's the difference there?
Well, I don't know the full story on this, John. Okay, to begin with.
Okay.
But so the big difference, though, from my perspective right now, the cattle herd in the United States hasn't been this low since, from what I've read, since the early '60s, late '50s. Okay, so that's one. That's the primary reason why beef prices have gone up as much as they had. So he's bringing beef into the market now to be able to lower that price for everybody.
Right, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds very socialistic, doesn't it? Here's the problem. When you undercut the price of beef, you disincentivize the ranchers and the farmers who raise beef for a living when you undercut the price. So there seems to be a little bit of an economic dilemma here. Just curious about your thoughts, man.
And the Trump administration also has a big push to start getting that the cattle herd numbers increasing.
Okay, why would the government do it? Well, that was a good point.
Yeah.
That was a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the government be involved in cattle raising? You see, that's one of those socialist things where you have government involved in free enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, I think that our president has a lot of socialist tendencies.
Well, look, I don't think he's got a lot of socialist tendencies. I think that's the way, unfortunately, our government has worked for years and years.
But now, here and now, don't go back now. 2 years of Donald Trump.
No.
This is the Trump administration, and Trump policy is really what you should focus on. So if the government is getting involved in raising cows or setting prices on beef, that is, by definition, socialism. Hey, you have a good day, bud.
Right,
take care.
Bye-bye. Hey, we got to take a quick little break. Both lines are open. Give me a buzz, 724-438-4593.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy with big news. We are now accepting all Medicare Part D plans, including UPMC and Highmark. Service and care you need from a local provider you trust, including vaccines, compounding, delivery, and our Pack My Meds program. 90-day supplies are available too. Visit us in Claysville, Washington, Carmichaels, and our new location on Arch Street in Connellsville, or visit us on the web at curtispharmacy.com.
One call cleans it all with Madewell Services. Family owned and operated, Madewell Services has the cleaning covered with their dependable and detailed residential and commercial cleaning, so you can come home and unwind. And Madewell Services does it all with their weekly, bi-weekly, or deep cleanings, as well as move-in and move-out services, plus junk removal. For a free estimate or to schedule a cleaning, just call or text Madewell Services at 724-912-1805.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Bortz Jr.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is Open Conversation, 724-438-4593. Give me a buzz, 724-438-4593. What else do you want to chat about? All right, so John brought up cattle, and quick little break as best I could do in 3 minutes' time. Brought up. So, yes, the Trump administration has negotiated with foreign cattle brokers to bring in 300,000 metric tons of ground beef with lower import tariffs, and is to take effect for 90 days. So, yes, the Cattlemen's Association is saying, hey, yeah, this hurts the U.S. cattlemen, and I would agree with them. I honestly do. Because they are, for various reasons, the cost of raising cattle has got grazing fees cost more, feed costs more. You have the demand that has, supply and demand. So the bigger the supply, the higher the cost, right? And especially if you can't fulfill the supply, that cost goes up. So there are several factors going into that. Yeah, I know it's going to look good on the pocketbook. But I guess, and so, yes, John is right. That's got a tinge of socialism to it. I will say that, absolutely. I don't necessarily like it. I know my pocketbook might like it. But I do think the president is wrong on this. If you want to help bring down the costs, well, one, we need to get pricing back down, so bringing the end of this war sooner rather than later will help. I will admit that. I think there's the cause, the reasoning for the war is just. I am for bringing down, putting pressure through various means, and if bombing is part of it, so be it. Pressure on Iran to get rid of their nuclear ambitions, to end the funding of their proxies around the world, and especially in the Middle East, that have brought so much terror to the citizens of the Middle East and to U.S. personnel, whether it's our military, whether it's our delegations, government-wise. So, yes, several things will help. I don't think this might be a short-term fix. I don't think it's the long-term fix that's needed. I don't think it's the long-term fix that is needed. Like I said, bringing the pricing back down. You know, I've got, through my wife, cousins that are farmers, and they grow cattle too. I was talking to the one cousin a couple weeks ago. He used to have a herd of, I think, around 40 to 50. He's down to about 10. He sold them all off because the price right now is, you can't ignore it. It is very worthwhile at this point for him to sell his cattle. So he's down to like 10 or 12 left in his herd. So again, that's all part of the, the supply and the need type thing out there. What the president wants to do, I'll agree with John on this. Absolutely. I think that's a short-term solution that can hurt others in the long run. If you want to help, the current cattlemen, okay, zero out the grazing costs. And for those of you that don't know, especially out west, there's all kinds of federal land owned by the federal government. For a fee, the government allows the cattlemen to put their cattle on government land for grazing purposes. So get rid of the grazing fees. Help out that way for a while. That could help bring the cost down. Let's do that. See if there's other ways you can help bring down the cost of beef without undercutting their price at market. I'm okay if he wants to bring in beef at the same cost as the cattleman. But to come in under, yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean. Now, I understand you negotiated all of this, and the sellers agreed to it. So you got to hold them a little bit of accountable too, don't you? So let's, if you want to, and what their program is to help increase the herds, I don't know. I don't. Isn't that up to the farmers? I don't know. And by the way, what's the gestation rate of a cow? How long? So it's not like you can increase the herd overnight. How long does it take for a cow to develop? Probably longer than a human, although I don't know. Maybe my phone will tell us real quick what that is. We'll do this. You know what? 9 months, 10 days. So a little longer than a human. And I don't know how old the cow is before it's eligible for market. I'm going to guess a year or so, just how the Fayette County Fair works. The 4-H students, they raise the cow from pretty much birth until market a year or so later. So, 2 years before a cow's eligible for market? So it's not going to happen overnight on that. But I come back to the grocery stores in New York City. Here it is. You have, I don't know how many bodegas, how many privately owned grocery stores there are in the 5 boroughs of New York City. I don't. There's a lot. There's a lot. Many of them have been there for years, if not decades. paying taxes, paying rent. They're paying rent. Their landlords are paying property taxes on that. So there is a lot of overhead before they even open the doors that they got to worry about. But now, here you come, Zohran Mamdani. They're going to go into government-owned buildings where they don't have to worry about property taxes. Don't have to worry about a whole lot of things that the individual private owner has to worry about. I saw a gentleman on the news today. He has a store that he's had for, and his family's had for decades. He says, there's one of these city-owned grocery stores is going to open up roughly across the street from him, or at least in the neighborhood. He said he doesn't know how he's going to survive once that opens. With all the rhetoric that's going on, now, yeah, things may change once the stores actually open, but with the rhetoric that's currently taking place, based off of that, this homeowner has no ideas how he's going to survive. And now, so the administration says, now they're walking it back, saying, no, we're not doing that. Talking about offering grants and other special programs to help that corner grocery store survive. So they're trying to play both ends. They're trying to subsidize both ends with your tax money. Not that subsidizing one end is okay, but they're trying to do it both ways. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. This whole DSA is a mess. The things that they want. Have you? I've asked you. Have you gone and have you pulled up their website, Democratic Socialists of America? Have you pulled it up? Have you looked at their platform? If you haven't, I urge you, go look it up. Read about them. It'll scare the bejesus out of you, the things that they want to do. Wealth tax. There's talk of, the wealthy registering their home, registering their furniture, their goods, everything that's in the house. So that, why do they want to do that? Well, because they need a list, don't they? So they can figure out what they can also tax. And they'll put a lot value on that as well. And it's very easy. Once you start a list of billionaires, it's very easy now to start a new category of millionaires. And then there's making the next list of half millionaires. Okay, now let's find out who makes $250,000 a year. It's very easy to continue making lists. Once you start, it's very easy. It scares the bejesus out of me, and it ought to scare it out of you too. Oh, by the way, what's good for you is not necessarily good for them. Did you know I think he's the vice chair of the New York City Democrat Socialists of America. And he's talking about, taxing the wealthy all left and right, upside down, everything else. Do you know where he lives? He lives in New York in a $1.4 million apartment that mom and dad own and bought and own. And he doesn't pay rent. Just like the mayor out of Seattle, who's never really had a job and whose mom and dad had to pay for her child care while she ran for mayor. And that's not the only ones. Hey, I got to take a quick break to the caller that just got on. Well, bear with me for a minute. You'll be first up right after this.
Bright Stripe, Bay County's premier asphalt seal coating professionals, locally owned by Matt and Lexi George. Bright Stripe specializes in residential and commercial asphalt seal coating, also excelling in line striping and layouts, thermoplastic, and infrared asphalt repair. Bright Stripe has succeeded due to their commitment to quality work for 30 years. Bright Stripe, 724-437-6090, or visit bright-stripe.com. BRITE-stripe.com.
So what's the difference between the sheds I see in the parking lot of the big box stores and a professionally built and installed JDM structure shed from Ultimate Structures? Good question. First, the manufacturer, JDM Structures, is one of the premier shed builders in business for 34 years. They use composite materials for the exterior with baked-on paint. This ensures you'll have an extended lifespan for your shed. And listen to this. 75% of Ultimate Structures orders are personally designed to satisfy the customer's needs. That's right. And the turnaround time for a custom designed shed is no longer than just buying a stock shed. Compare the roof designs, the superior piano door hinges, the quality of the wall panels, and personal customer service. You'll see. Come to the Mega Lot on Route 51 South, just outside Perryopolis. You need a shed? We can help. We design what you desire. Ultimate Structures.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
AR Roofing, never settle.
Strap. Located at 34 South Street in downtown Uniontown, newly remodeled, American-inspired, where Western meets Americana. We have all your red, hot, and blue accessories. American Pride handbags, crossbody bags, and wallets, along with the new Montana West 250-year anniversary American flag braided tote bags. Myra brand is back at Strap in your favorite denim selections. Bags and boots, including the Liberty Star bootie. We have bag charms, bag chains, an abundance of star-spangled jewelry, t-shirts, flip-flops, wild rags, scarves, and twillies. Here's to the red, white, and blue. Woohoo! Strap, 34 South Street in downtown Uniontown, 724-557-6184. Open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 3. Stop, browse, and shop, and let accessories bling.
Are you using credit cards to keep up with high grocery, gasoline, and utility prices? Are you being sued? If yes, call Zebley Law Office today. Before paying unaffordable debts or entering debt management, give us a call at 724-439-9200 and we'll meet with you for free. Maybe a bankruptcy is a cheaper, faster choice to eliminate your debts, keep your home and car, and get a fresh start. Call us today for a free in-person consultation. 724-439-9200. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit georgedentalassociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. Open Conversation, 724-438-4593. Hello, thanks for holding. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, you must have got the word ahead of time.
What?
That I was calling.
No, I have no clue.
Anyway.
No, I don't get a heads up on who's on the phone, Bill.
Okay. You say you lean right, but man, you're coming off today extremely right. So let's talk about a couple things. Your friend Leanne, she asked you 2 political questions since 2024. Now, the Tuesday before the election in 2024, she asked you about what is the Project 2025. And you basically told her, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. Do you think it's in effect right now?
No.
Okay. Then she asked you about, I believe about a month ago, about DSA, right? And you said they were un-American.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you consider a socialist? Well, before you answer that, let me ask you a question. If your president he's
your president too, by the way, Bill.
Okay, our president takes 10% of let's say Intel, for example, and there's 12 others. There's a total of 13 companies, and they buy into that. The government gets 10% of that. What is that called? Is that socialism or is that capitalism?
I still think it's capitalism because for one thing, and I don't agree with it, by the way. I don't agree with it of having a stake in it. I can understand why, but I don't agree with it. They are not controlling. The government is not controlling how that company operates. It is not telling them how to set prices. It is not telling them what they can and cannot make. It is not telling how much they can make, quantity-wise. Okay,
but they get a 10% stake in it. What's the 10% for then?
Well, the 10% is probably for defensive purposes, is my guess. So, in other words, in Intel, hey, you know what? We need chips as well for our weapon systems. I as your president, I as the government, however, I want to make sure that when we need chips for a special project, for a special weapon systems, I want to make sure that they're going to be available for us.
Okay. Well, that should be on the companies and not the government. I mean, because that's absolutely socialism. So, how do we get out of this war that we're losing?
Well, we're not losing. I don't know why people consider we are losing. We're
okay,
not.
So what do we accomplish?
Well, right now the nuclear capabilities of Iran have been smashed. They want to continue pressing for Iran to completely denounce the use of them nuclearizing themselves. So that's the ultimate end game. It says denounce. We're no longer going to pursue a nuclear Iran. That's the final end game there.
What about the Strait of Hormuz?
Hold on. Also, part of that is stopping your proxies from attacking Israel, from attacking other countries and entities in the region. Stop backing Hamas. Stop backing Hezbollah. Stop backing whoever. Stop sending them money. And to a certain extent, that part is starting to work as well when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, stuff is coming through every day. Where I think the administration is missing, and I'm out of time here, Bill, is they need to, because oil is getting through the strait. They need to announce every single day. Yesterday, 5 million barrels made it through. Yesterday, 4 million barrels. They need to, other than just saying we have stuff going through the southern shipping lane of the strait, they need to give us numbers on that. Bill, I got to run. I'm up against the news here. Thanks for your call. This is WMBS Uniontown. It is 2 o'clock. Fox News.
They're calling it Operation Economic Outcast. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just outlining new sanctions on Iran and secondary sanctions on countries and entities that aid the regime.
Every country has a defined timeline to shut down activities we have identified. If they do not take action, we will do so unilaterally through Treasury authorities.
Using money laundering as an example of help for Iran that has to stop.
Any entity that facilitates money laundering on behalf of Iran will be removed from the U.S. dollar system. The clock just started ticking.
He says President Trump is calling world leaders as part of a level setting of expectations with countries that may be impacted. Bessent declining to say which countries or to confirm timelines, but he's signaling U.S. patience is limited and that no one is above the reach of sanctions. Iran has already warned of seismic retaliation for the economic isolation campaign. Earlier, Iran's currency hit a record low. Vice President J.D. Vance says he thought the U.S. and Canada had a deal on trade, but that Canada made last-minute demands he calls unreasonable, and that the U.S. just wants a fair deal.
If you look at the amount of tariffs that have been applied, not just on Maine, but on a lot of our northern states that are doing cross-border trade with Canada, Canada and China have been the two worst countries when it comes to trade policy anywhere in the world. What a shame that is.
The vice president visiting a manufacturing facility in Maine ahead of the midterm elections. Canada's prime minister accusing U.S. negotiators of making demands Canada could not meet. He is vowing retaliation for higher tariffs as President Trump warns of another increase beginning January 1st. Multiple ICE sources just confirming to Fox more than 1,300 arrests of illegal immigrants over 2 weeks in Virginia and Maryland, including nearly 400 with criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. America is listening to Fox News.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
A show of support for Ukraine as British and European leaders travel there for Independence Day.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky delivered remarks outdoors at the St. Sophia Square and Cathedral in Kyiv, honoring 35 years of independence from Russia, adding that Ukraine will always be independent even after 4.5 years of war. The presidents of Moldova, Estonia, and the European Council traveled to Kyiv for the event, as did Britain's Prime Minister Andy Burnham in his first trip abroad in his new role. Burnham made remarks from St. Sophia as well after the British government confirmed they would share classified information on how to build long-range Scout missiles to be built with help from France inside Ukraine. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is asking state lawmakers to shield utilities from financial trouble if their equipment sparks a wildfire. His proposal is to limit the amount they have to pay victims and attorneys, though the plan could allow victims to get paid more quickly after a fire. An ex-Washington Post columnist who lost her job after controversial posts about slain activist Charlie Kirk may be rehired.
Karen Attia was ordered by an independent arbitrator to be given her job back after ruling she was wrongfully terminated. A post on social media by Atia after Kirk's assassination last September implied she would not mourn his death. The Washington Post fired her, claiming she damaged its integrity and reputation. The arbitrator ruled the newspaper did not prove Atia's postings amounted to gross misconduct. She was ordered reinstated with back pay coming to her. Atia, in a statement, said she was only doing her job as an opinion columnist. A spokesperson for the Post would only say it respected the arbitration process. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Stocks remain mixed with the Dow up 68 points. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Now the local, district, and statewide news. Being brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Keeping you warm and cozy in winter and cool and comfortable in summer with a quality Bryant gas furnace or air conditioning system. And now the news.
Good afternoon. It's 2:05, partly sunny, 72 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Injured call today for your free consultation, 724-437-2799. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano. We'll check sports and weather in a bit. 41-year-old Nathan Fike of Farmington was sentenced in federal court to 70 months in prison and 10 years of supervised release on child porn charges. His conviction followed an investigation where he sent an explicit video of a child to an undercover FBI agent in October of 2023, leading to a search of his home that uncovered over 200 explicit files. Prosecuted under the DOJ's Project Safe Childhood initiative, Fike was convicted of both distributing and possessing material depicting the sexual exploitation of minors. Loved ones are honoring a Penn West, California student who lost her life in a violent attack last week. Family and friends gathered for a candlelight vigil in memory of Caroline Heinz yesterday evening at Trinity United Methodist Church in Washington County. The 18-year-old woman was found stabbed to death in the back of her SUV early last Thursday morning. Her boyfriend, Royce Moser, is in custody in connection with her death. The suspect's mother is also accused of helping him try to cover up the murder. Peters Township High School is the best high school in the Pittsburgh region according to this year's rankings by U.S. News and World Report. This is based on such metrics as its scores on state assessments, graduation rates, and how well the school prepares its students for college. Upper St. Clair High School is the second best high school, with South Fayette and Mount Lebanon in the top 10. Among other high schools in the region, Canon McMillan was number 24, Uniontown 86, and Laurel Highlands 99. The federal government is announcing a new initiative for better preparedness and response when individuals with autism are reported missing. Here's Scott Carr with more.
The Department of Health and Human Services says it will partner with the DOJ and FEMA to better coordinate with emergency management, law enforcement, first responders, and community partners across the nation. HHS says the program's called the National Autism Missing and Endangered Person Alert Initiative, reflecting, they say, a federal commitment to treating such missing cases with the appropriate urgency. In Washington, I'm Scott Carr.
WMBS time is 2:08. We'll check sports and weather next.
439-2323 for 24-hour emergency service. Call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning, your service company.
When it's sweltering outside, you'll be cool inside with central air conditioning from Bryant, the people that know cool. And it's easy to have a central air conditioning system installed in your home. Simply call on your Bryant dealer, Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, located near the Laurel Mall on Route 119, north of Uniontown. The phone number is 439-2323. Let Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning rescue you from the sticky, humid summer weather. Remember that number for Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, 439-2323.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
And in sports, Pirates visit the San Diego Padres tonight. Braxton Ashcraft gets the start for the Bucks, who are 63-69 and coming off being swept by the Dodgers. They've dropped 3 straight. Pregame at 9:15. First pitch is 9:40 tonight on WMBS. Steelers, they'll wrap up the preseason on Thursday night with their only away game in the preseason. It'll be in Buffalo against the Bills, and we'll have the game Thursday on WMBS. Pregame will be at 6 with kickoff at 7.
The local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall. Phone 439-2323.
The Weather Watch is being brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Call Nate at 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more. Get a free quote now.
Partly to mostly sunny for the rest of the afternoon, 73, partly cloudy, 56 tonight, and partly cloudy again tomorrow with a high of 77. Right now, we have mostly sunny skies and 72 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. 2:10 is our time on this Monday afternoon. I'm TJ DeStefano. And coming up next, we have hour 2 of What's on Your Mind with Russ Rhodes on WMBS.
The Weather Watch has been brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Nate is there for you. Call 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor, available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
Uncover camouflaged health symptoms at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital during a free community health screening on Saturday, September 19th from 8 to 11 a.m. Receive screenings for your heart, circulation, bone health, blood pressure, blood glucose, and more, all at no cost. Plus, physicians will be on site to answer your questions. Pre-register today and receive a free WVU Medicine camouflage hat. Visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown to register.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more. Because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
That sneeze was in a different zip code, and I still felt the germs.
Relax, Randy. I went to Montgomery Medical. I'm fully shielded.
Like a flu shot?
Flu, COVID, the works. If you haven't caught up on your shots yet, they'll get you sorted in minutes. It's basically a suit of armor, but with less clanking. Then do the double shot. After Montgomery Medical, head over to Renew You Medispa. I got their immunity IV drip.
A Medispa?
You relax, you hydrate, and you give your immune system a VIP upgrade.
Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine.
Take the fact book.
Caring for an aging parent or a loved one with medical needs? FACT, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation, can help. Seniors 65 and older ride free on our fixed routes. People with disabilities get discounted shared rides. And if your loved one has medical assistance, their trips to doctors or treatment are covered under the shared ride program. Give them safe, reliable independence and yourself peace of mind. Call 724-628-RIDE or visit factbus.com. FACT, your community, your connection.
Having Hicks & Baugh's Drugstore in Uniontown means reliable, quality, and friendly service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller are ready to answer your health questions and handle all your prescriptions. They offer free delivery, mail-out service, and accept all utility payments, all part of their good neighbor way of doing business. Visit Hicks & Baugh's at 304 Morgantown Street in Uniontown or call 724-437-2828. Open Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday until 3.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is Open Conversation, 724-438-4593. We are brought to you by Gary's Auto Sales, Hicks and Boss Drugstore, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, K2 Engineering, Madewell Services, full lawn care and cleaning services, Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping, and AR Roofing and Remodeling. Just to kind of go over my list from the first hour, we can chat about these, or if there's something else you want to chat about, by all means, give me a buzz. New York City grocery stores. Mayor Mondami has a $70 million budget to create these grocery stores. One, and not expected to open, excuse me, until 2029 is when the first one will open. And he's touted 30% savings on goods in the city-run stores. So as a result, independent store owners are threatening to sue the city for, because of this. I guess unfair trade practices, maybe. I'm not sure the specific wording on that. But, you know, the city-owned stores, they won't have to worry about property taxes. They won't have to worry about a bunch of other things that the private owner has to worry about. And so concerns, very real concerns, that they will be driven out of business. And so let's take that a next step further. When the city stores eventually fail, and they will, because this has been tried in other cities around the country, and they have all failed miserably, so there's no reason to suspect that New York City is going to do it any better. When these city-owned stores go out of business or close, then what are the citizens of New York City going to do for getting food? Because by the time the city ones go out of business, all the mom and pop stores will have gone out of business prior to that. So there will be no place for them to go to. Economic D-Day for Iran. So Secretary Scott Bessent announcing new sanctions against Iran and anybody who deals with them. So putting the economic squeeze, there are reports that the regime is deathly afraid of renewed uprisings in the country with the ever-increasing shortage of supplies, the high price of what supplies are available. So we'll see what happens on that. The Canadian trade agreement, which we thought was going to be signed last week, well, it didn't get signed. It fell through. So the president is now enacting 50% tariffs on a bunch of Canadian goods, car parts, cars, other items, steel, aluminum. Canada has threatened to do the same to U.S. goods. Alaska's Senate race is a little confusing. Incumbent Dan S. Sullivan is on a ranked order budget along with a challenger by the name of Dan J. Sullivan. So, plus a former mayor of Anchorage, Dan A. Sullivan, is backing and promoting Dan S. Sullivan, the incumbent. So all for ranked voting in November. So the Republican State Committee says that Dan J. Sullivan is secretly a Democrat, and he's only in the race to draw votes away from Dan S. Sullivan, with the hopes that the other Democrat candidate pulls enough to get victory. World Cup visitors, having returned to their home countries, are missing the U.S., are now posting videos saying they didn't realize how bad it was at home until they came to the United States and wishing they could go back. Includes, food and politeness. One woman saying, I didn't realize how rude we Germans were until I got back home. So there's that. And I'll bring up again John Marietta, the hillbilly, has officially announced he's running for Fayette County Commissioner. Duh, we knew that 2 years ago when he ran for re-election for Recorder of Deeds, which of course he denied. No, I'm only running for Recorder of Deeds. That's what I'm concentrating on. Went on to say that, he made his decision through prayer, which, okay, I understand that. But after talking with a lot of citizens at the Fayette County Fair, begging him to run, bull. He was going to run anyway. Whether if he had taken a poll and 75% said don't run, and 25% said he'd still run, because that's what he's been planning on all along. And if you want to run, fine, go ahead. I don't have a problem. What I do have a problem with, though, is Mr. Marietta continuing to hold the office of Recorder of Deeds, getting a paycheck every 2 weeks while he's running for a higher office in the county. Resign is what I say. Resign from the Recorder of Deeds. Take the campaign expense off the backs of the citizens of Fayette County and concentrate fully on your campaign. By the way, there's nothing wrong with taking a salary from your campaign contributions. That's perfectly legal. So resign your position. We shouldn't have to pay for you to not be in the office so that you can run for a different gig. It does a disservice for Fayette County. So there you go. That's my list. If there's something else on your list, by all means, give me a buzz. I want to hear from you. 724-438-4593. Other topics, we can, the weather. We can always talk about the weather. Pirate baseball. Do we start looking forward to next year? Or is there still a glimmer? Yeah, you know what? There's a glimmer. But you know what? It's a glimmer, and it's not going to get any brighter as far as making playoffs this year. Lost 3 to the LA Dodgers over the weekend. They play the Padres now tonight. By the way, you can hear that here on WMBS. 9:15 is pregame, 9:40 first pitch. Pirates take on the San Diego Padres. So, I'll be happy if the Pirates take one from the Padres in this. But it might be time to start looking at next year. Wait till next year. We're going to be great next year. We will. Injuries will be healed. Paul Skeens will be back to his old self. It's going to be. What's a great thing about baseball. It's the eternally optimistic game. Wait till next year. So we get to say it now. Wait till next year. Later than it has been recently in years past. You know, we were saying wait till next year back in July and June in the past. This year it's almost September before we're saying wait till next year. So anyway, Pirate baseball, Steeler football, NFL, one preseason game left, then a week off, and then the regular season starts. So I did not watch any of the game Friday. So I really can't I mean, I saw the stats afterwards. Stats were okay. I mean, they still had, what was it, 340 some total yards of offense. So not too bad. They just couldn't generate any extended possessions to score. So as a result, they were shut out. And quarterback play of our two rookies. Yeah, I know Will Howard's in his second year, but he didn't even play any preseason last year. So he's a rookie in my book still. You know, 2 weeks ago they played well against the Packers. Not so good this time. So that's all part of being a rookie, growing up in your position. So, you know, I'm not going to say either one's a bust. Not at all. So, but we'll see when the regular season. Now the question here, when they travel to Buffalo this week. Will Aaron Rodgers see any playing time? Because it's the last preseason game. I kind of think you got to play him just, I don't know, the first two possessions. Just so you get that live game feel back. You know, you could do live action in camp, in practice. You know, it's just not the same as the game. Because adrenaline's running a little higher. Things run a little faster. So, yeah, there's a difference between practice and actual game time. So I hope Aaron Rodgers does play a couple series anyway, possessions. Not that he's going to play the whole game. I wouldn't want that. But just to get him in there, go up against the first team of the Bills for the first two possessions and go from there. But your thoughts, what do you think? How do you see it progressing? And then if you want, we can make jokes about the Cleveland Browns. They've decided that Deshaun Watson is going to be their starting quarterback. Of course, he's the one that, what was it, 3 years ago, signed a $250 million contract, guaranteed, and hasn't played a whole heck of a lot. That first year he was looking at a 10-game suspension? His first year before he could play, and then he got hurt before the season ended. And, he's been hurt ever since. So here he is, fourth year, and has hardly played since he signed that contract, but he was named the number one in Cleveland. So we can joke about Cleveland yet again. So 724-438-4593. Both lines are open. Give me a buzz. We'll start some more conversation right after this.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy with big news. We are now accepting all Medicare Part D plans, including UPMC and Highmark. Service and care you need from a local provider you trust, including vaccines, compounding, delivery, and our Pack My Meds program. 90-day supplies are available too. Visit us in Claysville, Washington, Carmichaels, and our new location on Arch Street in Connellsville, or visit us on the web at curtispharmacy.com.
One call cleans it all with Madewell Services. Family owned and operated, Madewell Services has the cleaning covered with their dependable and detailed residential and commercial cleanings, so you can come home and unwind. And Madewell Services does it all with their weekly, bi-weekly, or deep cleanings, as well as move-in and move-out services, plus junk removal. For a free estimate or to schedule a cleaning, just call or text Madewell Services at 724-912-1805.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
It's the Summer Sales Event, going on now at Thurby's Riverside Ford. That means all new Ford Escape, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and F-150s come with 0% Ford credit financing for 36 months, plus a $1,000 Ford factory rebate. And as a bonus, all vehicles come with a 2-year, 25,000-mile Ford complimentary maintenance plan.
Check out these low payments on a new 2026 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend or a new 2026 Ford Maverick all-wheel drive pickup. Just $399 per month for 36 months with $999 down. Ford Motor Credit financing required. 3-year lease is based on 10,500 miles per year. No security deposit required.
See Joey, Jimmy, Sammy, or Ashley at Thurby Riverside Ford, your one Ford Elite Presidential Award-winning dealer, located 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin.
Offer extended to August 31st.
Looking for your new favorite spot in Uniontown? Then check out Casey's Sports Cafe on South Mount Vernon Avenue. Family owned and operated by the Vernons, Casey's serves up incredible homemade soups, hearty sandwiches, and delicious entrees. Opens every day at 7, closes Monday through Friday at 3, and Sunday at 2. Place your order or book your next event now by calling 724-550-4126. Casey's Sports Cafe, 724-550-4126.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility, combined with our personalized approach, is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
WMBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. Open conversation, 724-438-4593. What else you want to chat about today? You know, we are still in summer. You know, we've got another month, really, till the official end of summer. Was it September 2021? Right around there is when fall starts. The unofficial end, we're starting in that process right now. We have schools start up, I think, tomorrow. We've got the first high school football games Friday. And then before you know it, Labor Day weekend is here. And that has always been kind of the unofficial end of summer, kind of the last hurrah. That's the weekend people start closing up their pools, which I've never understood. But anyway, is there anything you still want to get done this summer, or are you just looking for fall at this point in time. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hi, this is Tammy from Uniontown. I just have a question.
Yeah, Tammy.
My grandson, who's 8 years old, put I guess you call it like a plume of a turkey. It was just the feathers behind a glass in the fair.
Okay.
And he won like a blue ribbon.
Okay.
But what happened the second day that we went up there to see, I went to see where it wasn't there anymore. So we thought maybe somebody stole it. So we talked to the lady that was sitting at the desk up there in that one building, and she says, "Oh, it was taken out of the fair or out of the display." And I asked, well, "Why did they do that?" She said, "Because the inspector was here and said that it didn't have like a veterinarian release to get that to stay in the fair." We called a vet. And we didn't need that. Did you ever hear of anything like that? And do you know who the inspector would be for that fair, for the Fayette County Fair?
No, I've never heard that, and I have no clue as to. I don't know if it would be, an agricultural inspector from, say, the FDA. I don't know if that would be wildlife, game commission. I honestly don't know, Tammy. That's the first I've heard anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just 8 years old, and it upset him because when they said that he would have got the grand prize or something, but they took it out. And we talked to a vet, and they said they've never heard of that before. That you had to go to a vet to get a clearance to get it into the fair. And I just thought maybe you knew something about it.
No, I don't. I wish I don't have a phone number to give you for the fair,
okay.
But I would suggest, at least start talking to them and get hold of somebody on the fair board.
Yeah, they won't call us back. We tried the president. Bill Jackson's not president anymore up there?
No. He retired a couple years ago from that position.
Yeah, because now the new one, I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, all right, I'll keep trying. But it's no big deal.
So did
it's
they
just my
return it
grandson
at all?
was hurt.
I mean, have they returned it at all?
Oh, they did, but they said that he couldn't win the grand prize because the the inspector said it wasn't up to code. So we're just trying to find out who the inspector is, and we can't get that information to find out who said that.
Yep, I wish I could help you.
That's okay. Hey,
All
thanks.
Right. Thank you, Tammy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hello, this is Mike from Fairchance.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. Hey, talking about the Steelers, one thing I'd like to see on Thursday night is I don't think Rodgers is going to play or Mason Rudolph, but I would like to see Drew Aller start the game so he would be at least a couple series with the first string or the better ball players, because only the part I caught of the game Friday night was the second half, and he was running for his life. He got sacked like 3 times. He got pressured a lot. I would like to see him in there with some of the better ball players and against a better defense to see what he can do, because he's definitely going to make the team because he's Mike McCarthy's 3rd-round pick.
Right.
If anyone might be to the practice squad, it might be Will Howard, unless they would trade Mason. And I can't believe they're going to trade Mason, because if Rodgers goes down after a couple games with a busted finger or something, they need a veteran in there to do something to win a couple games for him. So I'd like to see Drew Aller start the game.
So remind me, though, Mike, let's say Will Howard does go to the practice squad. Does he have to be released prior to going to the practice squad? In other words, does he need to be made available to the rest of the league before the Steelers can send him to the practice squad?
I think he has to clear waivers. I do think so. Now, I might be wrong here, but I thought that if another team offered him a contract, the Steelers then could match that. But see, being a 6th-round pick 2 years ago, and everyone in the NFL passed on him for 5 rounds until the Steelers got him, I don't think he's going to be in that much demand. So I think they could put him on the practice squad and be pretty safe at keeping him.
Okay.
That's my opinion, and I may be wrong about the waivers, but I think that's how it is.
Yeah. Well, again, you just you don't know. You just don't know.
No.
Depending on what injuries take place around the rest of the league, how
Yeah,
comfortable
and
they
they
feel
can-
with who they have.
Well, and they could keep 4 quarterbacks. That means they would have to maybe have one less defensive back or one less defensive lineman.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the 52nd or 53rd person on the roster. So I don't think it would be that devastating if they kept 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It could be a unique year. If it would be any year to do it, they could do it this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been reading the papers about all these other teams and how powerful they are. My goodness gracious. I don't even know if the Steelers could have a winning record this year. I'm telling you, man. Geez, there's a lot of good teams out there.
Well, what I will say to that is we've seen a lot of good teams heading into the regular season, and then all of a sudden they're doing absolutely nothing, and people can't figure it out why. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's once the regular season comes, all the weaknesses come out.
Yeah, and it depends a lot on your schedule too,
Sure.
and when you play and stuff.
And injuries, injuries as well.
Yeah.
So.
They were talking here last week or 2 weeks ago, and then I'll let you go, that they might have a NFL team, an international NFL team, one day in the near future.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, they might have a team in Mexico City or in
Okay.
Toronto.
Okay.
Maybe, they're big on London. They could have a team in London.
Maybe.
That would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the logistics of that, oh, my goodness. They would have to have 9 home games or 8 home games. That means you'd have to go across the ocean 8 or 9 times.
Sure.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
But I know it's becoming a world, they keep pushing. I forget how many overseas games are this year. I think there's 7 or 8 games.
Well, I know somebody has come up with the idea of just increase the schedule to 18 games, and every team does an overseas game twice a year.
Twice a year.
That's what somebody has put forth. Yeah.
Union would go for that.
So, well, you would essentially be, one home and one away game is what you would lose.
Yeah. But I mean, even the travel, then the jet lag and how much, I don't know. They fly across country and they have to have a couple days to recoup.
So, all right.
Okay.
Okay, Mike. Thanks for your call. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. Welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Yes, Russ. How are you?
Good, James. How are you?
Good. We're not shocked, right, Russ?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Exactly. The thing that chafes me is we had an opportunity, I believe, to get a person that would have been a good recorder of deeds and would have been focused on the job. But instead, we have this the Fayette County Hillbillies. I guess Gino is Jethro. I guess Melanie Patterson is Granny. Maybe Melanie Llewellyn is the other girl. I can't remember the program, but it's just amazing that here we are again, and we all knew this was going to go on. That's why the signs never definitely said anything.
Yeah, and
running
by the way, I don't know if you saw the Facebook announcement, but
No, I didn't see this.
The hillbilly moniker is not part of it.
It's not part of it.
No, he's not using the word hillbilly in his name at all, so I don't know what that is.
Well, Robert Burns will come up with something. He'll figure something out. He'll be back, Russ. We thought we got rid of him. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
But yeah, he'll be back. What I really want to mention is the president, President Trump.
Yeah.
We have an all-time low approval rating because people are upset with what's going on with this war in Iran, and I'll get with that in a minute. But at the same time, a lot of us are upset with the $40 trillion now that's on the national debt and growing. And those are two things he ran on. He ran on no new wars. He ran on being physically responsible, and both of them were totally false. we see that this is happening. Now, with this adding to the national debt and these trillions of dollars, that weakens the dollar, and that throws the dollar into peril. And it's going to have some changes in our economic system. And there's even talk, and I know the president is not going to like it, but there's even talk of raising the interest rate maybe a quarter point to a half a point coming up because things are unstable. You have the trade that has fallen apart with Canada. And then you have these sanctions on Iran, and I'm sorry, I can't take it seriously because he says that, those countries that are trading with Iran, we're going to hurt them, and Iran's going to be in such peril. Iran's major trade partner is China. So they're going to continue to trade, don't you think, Russ?
You mean China continue with Iran?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to continue to trade. And I know that Russia's going to help them. And then you look at the United Emirates, who's a huge trade partner with them. You look at Turkey. Turkey has just sat down and signed an agreement with Saudi Arabia
and
Pakistan saying that any of the three are attacked, all three respond.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think, and I'm not saying this, but a lot of people think that is due to what the United States did to Iran. So, or it could be Israel trying to target one of the three of them, because they have had words with Turkey. But either way, and then you have India, who's a major trade partner. They're talking about hurting these trade partners. That's laughable, because these countries already have trade going on with Iran, and the United States threatening these countries are not going to do or stop anything. You're not going to stop China. You're not going to stop India from making money. You're not going to stop the United Emirates, and you're not going to stop Turkey. These countries are going to continue. So for the president to say and the administration to say, we are going to hurt them tremendously, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. What I look to happen is, I think he is caught on, President Trump, because he's playing a game. I don't think he's willing to do anything militarily until after the midterms. Then you're going to see after the midterms him make his move. He doesn't want to seem weak right now. I think he does something major after the midterms. Whether that means boots on the ground, I don't know. But the troops have been realigned, repositioned, but they haven't been removed, have they, Russ? They're still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think this is coming down to time. And once those midterms are over, I think there's going to be a move made. I don't know if he can do it if everything falls apart for him in the midterms. I don't know if he can do it, but he's done it before. He hasn't had the support, and he still did it. So that's what I'm looking at. This economic, the sanctions, these are not going to work. They're not going to work.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, I appreciate it, Russ. I'll talk to you later.
All right, James. Bye now. Hello. Welcome to What's on Your Mind.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. Listen to your program.
Well, thanks,
like the
Pete.
Comment.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard that other one saying, the last caller saying about President Trump's ratings dropping. They're dropping like a rock. It's not just because of Iran. It's because who he is. He's authoritarian. That's the kind of government he's running. No different than Putin or Orban or the guy from Turkey. Or
So
and
Pete, why do you say he's running an authoritative government?
Well, look at everything he does, and there's no checks and balances. He controls the Justice Department.
I'm not going to look. I want you to tell me. Give me specifics.
Oh, well, everything you see him doing.
Like
all the programs he cut. Give the billionaires the biggest tax cut.
Give me specifics.
Well, I'm not going to give you statistics. I can only tell you what I see.
I didn't say statistics. I said specifics.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. When I see him cut all the programs like USA, how he treats the immigrants coming into this country, they're human beings. He don't treat them like human beings, and he tries to claim that every one of them's a crook. He's calling the Democrats, and I'm a Democrat, a communist. I'm not a communist, never have been. Okay? I served my country more than he did. He took 5 deferments. And you know what? I want to tell you something. Every time you take a deferment during the war, Vietnam War, somebody had to step up into the breach, and they might have not have made it. Okay? That's how serious it is. But a lot of people, a lot of Republicans, or no, I shouldn't say Republicans, but a lot of people don't look at it that way. But that's the truth. Okay? So he tries to say he's a patriot. He ain't no patriot in my eyes or a lot of people's eyes now. They see what he is. Okay?
All right.
Okay, I just wanted to say that his numbers ain't dropping because of the Iran war. It's dropping because who he is.
All right.
And there is no checks and balances in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
He controls the Justice Department, the FBI, the Supreme Court, and the Republican Party won't do anything to check him. So
okay, Pete.
That's the way I feel. Thanks for letting me say.
All right,
Okay.
Pete. Thanks for your call.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Skipper here today.
Hey, Skipper.
Yeah, I was just listening to Pete there. I think Donald Trump got voted in just to make all that happen when he said that he's in control of. Anyways, hey, did you talk about the WNBA today?
I did not know.
Okay, because you do often about Caitlin Clark, you know, the face of the NBA, and everybody's watching it and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, my wife, we watch like every basketball game every night now because she transformed us into, you know, a person that's very interested in this thing. It's more fun to watch it. And then all the drama keeps us into that. But did you see what happened at their game the other night? You guys didn't talk about it?
I don't know. You're going to have to give me a little bit more than that. Are you talking about Enos Kanter?
Yeah, that dude. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know who he was. I didn't really know what was going on. But guess what? They threw him out of the ball game.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So I was researching online, and I'm thinking, who is this guy? You know, what's this all about? And him and the girl that was confronting him. Well, he had a T-shirt on. I forget exactly what it said, but, you know, a woman is a female, whatever.
Female human.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she attacked him while he was standing at the sidelines. The other team's player, Ray, whatever her name was, I think it is, but Cloud, right. So I researched him a little bit. Him and another guy has entered into the 2027 WNBA draft.
Yes, they have. They've declared themselves for the draft.
They're ex-players. They said they qualify 100%. The only thing they got to say is they what is that? They see themselves as
identify as a woman.
There you go, bro. And now the WNBA has a problem, bro.
Yes, they do.
They're going to have every NBA ex-player that disagrees with their political stance be drafted. He's telling that Cloud girl, yeah, play against me next year. We'll see.
Yes.
You know, if it's fair, women playing against men. And that was the statement, you know, that he was making right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be very interesting how that thing plays out, how they word their whatever their for the transgender people, whether they can play or not, and what qualifies you to be a player in the WNBA. Yeah. It was amazing. They threw him out, but she attacked him first in the audience, you know, that girl.
Yeah.
So guess what happened? What happens whenever you attack people in other sports, whenever players attack other people in the audience?
Well, they usually get fined.
Something. So let's see if anything happens to that girl.
Alrighty. Okay, Skipper.
Bro. You got about 6 minutes left.
Yep, I got to run.
Bless.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Hey, we got to take a quick little break here. We'll be right back after this.
It's never too late for good dental health. If you've been putting off seeing a dentist, Dr. Renee Stevens can help. She's accepting new patients at the Connellsville Medical and Dental Office. Dr. Stevens encourages patients to schedule a visit and start on the road to better dental health. Call 724-632-6801. That's 724-632-6801. We accept most insurances, and we provide care regardless of your ability to pay.
Dinosaurs have taken over the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. Take a trip back in time this summer and come face to face with some of the largest and most intriguing animals that ever walked the earth. From Triceratops to Tyrannosaurus Rex, your favorite dinosaurs lurk around every corner. This special exhibit is free with zoo admission. Stomp on by soon. These amazing animatronic creatures will disappear once again on September 7th. Plan your visit today at pittsburghzoo.org.
Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit georgedentalassociates.com today. That's georgedentalassociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
Uniontown Liquidation Outlet wants to thank you for borrowing our special pay at 2025. Come shop with us for the lowest prices around. We have toys, home goods, tools, electronics, and much more. We offer layaway, so stop in today and ask us how it works. We are located inside the Uniontown Mall.
The Uniontown Liquidation Outlet. Visit us on Facebook, Uniontown Liquidation Outlet.
Hope to see you soon.
If it's time for a change of decor at your home, let the trained staff at Chesler's Fine Furniture work their magic. The August store-wide furniture clearance is going on now. There are no gimmicks involved, just great value and old-fashioned service. Chesler's offers the finest in name-brand furnishings by famous makers, plus accent pieces and wall decor that will underline your unique sense of style. You'll find items such as genuine Lazy Boy rocker recliners for $429, 5-piece dining room sets starting at $599. For the family room, there are reclining sofas from $799 and up, with matching reclining love seats and recliners. For the formal living room, there are sofas starting at $499. Don't forget the bedding department, all mattress sets reduced. Every piece of bedroom furniture, every piece of living room furniture and dining room furniture, and every piece of furniture at Chesler's will be discounted.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor, available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
Bright Stripe, Bay County's premier asphalt seal coating professionals. Locally owned by Matt and Lexi George. Bright Stripe specializes in residential and commercial asphalt seal coating, also excelling in line striping and layouts, thermoplastic, and infrared asphalt repair. Bright Stripe has succeeded due to their commitment to quality work for 30 years. Bright Stripe, 724-437-6090, or visit bright-stripe.com. BRITE-stripe.com.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is open conversation for, well, we've got a little less than 2 minutes to go in today's show. So time for you to call me, 724-438-4593. Hey, did anybody watch the Freedom 250 Indy Grand Prix race in Washington, D.C. yesterday? I did. I mean, not the whole thing. I did have it on as I was doing chores around the house, and I would stop and I would watch at times and everything. But I thought it was a very it was a cool spectacle to watch. A lot of fans in the street, in the stands, lining the streets. The city looked absolutely beautiful. So. You know, it's been a long time since I've been down in our nation's capital, and I really do need to make it a point to get back down there again sometime soon. So, yeah, did you watch it, and what were your thoughts? I thought it was kind of icing on the cake if you will. Now, I don't remember his name, but an American won the race. So I thought that was kind of nice. I don't know if the race will ever be repeated. I don't know if they'll do Washington, D.C. again next year or, 5 years from I don't know. But that'd be kind of neat if that became part of their regular circuit. So your thoughts, and maybe we can chat about it some tomorrow on tomorrow's What's on Your Mind. What do you think about that, huh? So, all right, well, until tomorrow, it's been fun today. We'll do it again tomorrow. In the meantime, well, Fox News is just around the corner. And, well, you know how it is. They'll bring you news from around the world, around the country. And then TJ, he'll be in here with the local news, sports, and the weather. Pirate baseball tonight here on WMBS. 9:15 is pregame. 9:40 is first pitch. You can catch all the action here. This is WMBS Uniontown. At the start of the news, it'll be 3 o'clock.
A warning to other nations. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As the Trump administration rolls out new sanctions intended to isolate Iran's economy.
All countries, companies, and financial institutions with links to Iran are on the clock.
An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says those consequences could include secondary sanctions and isolation from the U.S. economy.
No nation should expect to enjoy the rewards of our system while helping those who seek to destroy it.
Bessent did not publicly share timelines or deadlines for U.S. partners to cut ties with Iran.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. China, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates are among Iran's largest trading partners. Hardline Iranian officials say any country's support for the new sanctions will be considered an act of war.
The Secretary of Iran's National Security Council saying today, quote, "If the economic war continues, not a single drop of oil will be exported, neither through the Strait of Hormuz nor from anywhere in the Persian Gulf."
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Tel Aviv. This as a trade dispute with Canada deepens, with each side blaming the other for a breakdown in talks. Canada's Prime Minister warning of retaliation as President Trump threatens another increase in tariffs beginning in January after a 50% hike on a variety of Canadian goods that already kicked in. President Trump turning attention to school choice.
And we want every parent to have the power to send their child to a high-quality school that shares their values. So important.
Holding a Rose Garden event to highlight progress made during his second term, including a tax credit aimed at expanding school choice passed by Republicans.